Hey guys, it's Teacher Dad. So today I'm going to be talking about a problem that I had with my refrigerator, and maybe you've had a similar problem where your refrigerator has stopped staying cool and it started getting warmer. So there's a couple things that you can test and check before you actually have to call a repairman. And so here are a couple things that you can do. So when you look in the back of your refrigerator, you'll see that there are either some coils, like you'll see in this picture here of this particular refrigerator, where you can see the just basically passive cooled refrigerator coils. And one of the things that you want to check is to make sure that they're not covered with dust and lint and things, and make sure that the airflow is able to pass through there, because this is where it exchanges the heat for the temperature, cooling and heat and so on. And I'm going to make sure that that's not blocked or clogged. If it is, you can use a brush to clean those out. Otherwise, you may see that you have a refrigerator like mine where there's actually a fan that's pulling air through a set of coils. And as you can see here, my coils had gotten especially dirty and lint covered. I did have to pull a panel off of mine to be able to access this. So first of all, you can see here what you need to do is start basically just to get a vacuum cleaner and start to clean off the dust and the lint. Most of these are not able to be pulled out of the unit so that you could clean them easily, because they are attached to permanent coils and lines that go into your refrigerator. So you just have to be able to clean what you can access. But once you have cleaned all of what you can get, there's another device that you can use if you have one of these lint brushes like you would use for a dryer vent or so on, and that can help you. They're usually bendable or flexible, and you can use those to get in around on the other cracks where you might not be able to reach. So again, you can get more of what you can see, and then once you've gotten everything that you're able to reach at that point, then you can get some cleaner. And what this does is it helps to either dissolve or to remove the rest of the dust and the lint that you're unable to get. So as you can see, mine actually has several layers here of coils, and so you can only get so much with the vacuum cleaner or with the lint brush itself. And so there are various different types. I'll leave a couple of different brands down here in the comments that you can, or the description, that you can see if you would be interested to try to use some of this. And so this may be the only issue that you've had. If you see that it's really dusty and linty, covered with things there, that might be your solution. And if that is, hopefully that helps your problem. Now, mine had a further problem beyond just this dust covered condenser coils in the back, and so this was a little bit more. So if depending on your brand or model of refrigerator, I have a GE refrigerator, and now the refrigerator is actually cooled. Most refrigerators are cooled through the cooling that happens in the freezer. For example, if you turn off the temperature cooling to the freezer, the refrigerator cooling also turns off because it uses those same coils. So in the back of mine, you'll see this big piece of metal in the back here, and there were several screws attached. One way that you can tell if there's a problem here is if this is starting to get all covered with frost. That might be an indication that there's a problem here. And although it may seem strange, there are actually heating coils inside of a freezer, and what it does is it helps to prevent the buildup of frost and ice on the coils inside of the freezer. So as you can see here, when I pulled the panel off of mine, all of those coils were covered completely with ice. So what can you do at this point is, if you're just trying to get by and for a little while because you're needing to save the stuff that's in your refrigerator and freezer, you can take a hair dryer or some type of a heating element and thaw this out, and it will give you probably about a week or so of cooling before you would have to come back and do this again. And that may give you a little bit of time to try to figure out what you're going to do to replace your problem, or to call somebody and get this fixed. So depending on what's happening, you may need a new heating element, which is located right here at the bottom. You'll see my specific problem that I had was that there was a wire that got burnt off to the heating element, and so it was most likely a problem either with the heating element, or there's two other possibilities. There's also a thermostat, or also a device in the back for measuring, for changing all of your temperatures, a little computerized card and so on. And either of those two might still be the problem that I was having. But either way, whichever problem it actually caused, I had the heating element replaced, and so my freezer refrigerator is now working again. So hopefully those two tips might be helpful to you if you were trying to figure out why your freezer refrigerator was not cooling properly. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave those down below, and we'll see you again on the next one.